All right, let's just jump right in. And I want you to forget philosophy for a second. This isn't about abstract ideas. What we're talking about today is, well, it's mechanics. A practical, nuts and bolts guide to basically engineering your own reality, to take control of the machine.
And that really brings us to the core question here, doesn't it? Is your life a story that's being told to you, or is it a machine that you can control? See, the whole point of these principles we're about to go through is to help you make that shift, to go from being just a passive observer to the active creator of your life.
So our first principle kicks off with a really powerful metaphor. Just imagine your life is a radio. Now, to get a clear sound, you don't add more stations, right? Of course not. You have to tune out all the noise. This is all about finding the right frequency.
And that perfect frequency, this framework calls it the absolute. The idea is that it's this constant, pure, clear signal of truth, order, and just raw potential. Think of it like your core intuition, that deep gut feeling you have. It's always there, it's always broadcasting, just waiting for us to tune in.
And this slide just lays it out so clearly. Look at the difference. On one side, you've got the signal, the absolute truth, order, potential, simple, pure. But then, on the other side, you've got the static. And this is what most of us are tuned into by default, right? It's that endless news cycle that's just designed to get a rise out of you. It's the social media drama that eats up all your focus. It's that constant drip, drip, drip of fear that's meant to keep you small. That is the noise that's drowning out the real signal. So here's the key takeaway. Getting to that clarity isn't about adding something new to your life. It's an act of subtraction. The real work isn't creating peace out of thin air. It's about systematically removing the static until all that's left is that clear, peaceful signal that was there all along.
Okay, so that leads us right into our second principle. Once you've found that signal, how do you protect it? This is where we get into personal energy and why containing it is absolutely crucial. So I want you to think of yourself as a node. It's a simple analogy, but it's powerful. Just like a healthy cell in your body, a healthy person is a contained system. The cell wall protects everything inside, and for us, a personal boundary does the exact same thing. It protects our internal energy, our charge.
And let's be really, really clear about what we mean by a boundary. This isn't about building a wall to be lonely. Not at all. It's about having a structure that maintains your integrity, your wholeness. Think about it. If you're constantly leaking energy, saying yes to stuff that just drains you, getting sucked into every single online argument, feeling like you have to respond to every demand on your time, what do you have left? You've got nothing left to build with, nothing to lead with. Containment, that's strength.
Which brings us to our third principle, and this one is a bit of a mind-bender, but it's incredibly powerful. It's all about how our internal identity literally creates the world we experience on the outside.
This is what's called the paradox of the mirror. The world literally reflects back to you who you believe you are. So if you see yourself as a prisoner, trapped by your job, your finances, your circumstances, then the world will present you with bars. But the moment you start to see yourself as an architect, those exact same circumstances, they start to look like a construction site, a place of pure untapped potential.
And this just nails the point home. Those external systems, the rules, the expectations, they only have power over you if on the inside you consent to being part of them. The second you change your identity from prisoner to architect, you'll find those prison walls start to dissolve.
Okay, so we've talked about mindset. Now let's get tactical. Principle 4 gives us a specific technique for solving problems, and it's all about elevating your perspective.
The logic here is so simple, but it's profound. If you're stuck down in the mud, you can't get out by thinking muddy thoughts. You can't solve a problem from inside the same energy, the same environment that created it. You have to change your level.
So how do you actually do it? Well, it's a really clear 4-step process you can use every time. First, you physically step away, leave the environment of the problem, get out of the office, go for a walk, whatever it takes. Second, go to your tower. That's your quiet, reflective space. Third, from that higher spot, you look down on the problem like an observer, not a participant. And you know what happens? Fourth, from that altitude, the solution that was hidden in the weeds, it just becomes obvious.
All right, let's move on to our fifth and final principle. This one is described as the most grounded of them all because it deals with your most real resources, your time, your energy, and your future.
This is where we get the concept of a phantom debt. It's this subtle, unspoken idea that we're all born into this world already owing something. That you've got this pre-existing obligation to society, to your family's legacy, to other people's expectations, like, feeling that pressure to take over the family business even if you have a zero passion for it.
But here's the thing. It's an illusion. It's just not real. I mean, think about a tree in a forest. Does it spend all its energy trying to pay back the forest for letting it exist? No. It just grows. It does what it's meant to do. And that's your only real obligation too, to be high fidelity. Which is a cool way of saying you just need to live in sync with your own true values and your own purpose, instead of constantly trying to meet someone else's expectations. The moment you stop paying off these phantom debts, these debts you never even signed up for, suddenly all your energy, all your resources, they're free. They're yours to build your life with.
And when you put all 5 of these principles together, when you tune out the static, protect your energy, claim your identity as an architect, rise above your problems, and cancel all those phantom debts, you step into a totally new reality. This is what the source material calls the open field.
And life in this open field is radically simple. It really just operates on 3 core actions. First, keep your mind clear so the world can reflect your true potential. Second, keep your energy high by protecting your boundaries. And third, keep your perspective vertical so you're always seeing the solution, not just getting lost in the problem.
And we're going to end on this thought right here. This whole framework, it's not being presented as some nice story or a hopeful philosophy. It's presented as a set of mechanics, a system, and like any machine, it's designed to produce a result. So the only question it really leaves us with is, are we brave enough to turn the key?